What's going on, traders? Happy Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into today's video. I hope you guys have all been having a good day, and as usual, let's jump right into today's recap. And so as you guys can see from the screen, unfortunately today I did have another big red day, right? So yesterday I was down about 1.3%. Today I was down, as you guys can tell, $135 on TQQQ and $31 on SQQQ, right? So I was down about $170, almost a 1.7% loss. So, between today and yesterday, I am down almost 3% on the week. And so that is why I am deciding to call it in terms of trading real money for the rest of the week. I am still going to be posting these recaps, but I will be trading on a simulation account just because it's, I'm at a point where I don't want to risk losing any more than $300 on the week, right? A 3% loss is manageable. I can take it and I can swallow it and, be okay with it. But, if I were to continue trading the rest of the week and it went south, it would really start to, bug me even more than it already has. So that's why I'm deciding, at least, for the remainder of the week, I won't be trading real money. So I did want to give you guys a heads up. But as you guys can see, these are all my trades. I started at 6:30 as usual, right? And stop trading at 9:25. So I was trading ultimately for, 3 hours today, and let me go ahead and explain exactly what led to me making a lot of mistakes. So heading into market open, what did I ultimately see, right? Well, pre-market, the Nasdaq sold off, right? Found a support and started to push up. And so right at market open, this thing started to initially sell off. So I bought into SQQQ. But as you guys can see, once it sold off, right, and found a support, this thing completely changed direction. So I started to wait for true direction to form. And by the time I waited, this thing had already pushed up to here, I believe. So I started to get into TQQQ, made some money, right? I was eventually up on the day, after these nice pushes, but this thing ended up selling off much more aggressively and faster than I thought it would, right? I thought this thing would only sell off to, EMA and potentially try to continue to uptrend. I wasn't expecting a full, complete pullback to the middle VWAP, so that's ultimately where I went wrong. And so, right, I would try predicting the bottom. As this thing would fall and it would have a nice spike, I would buy into TQQQ thinking it was time for this thing to start rallying, right? Only for this thing to continue to sell off. So I really dug myself in a big hole, and I really struggled with getting a true sense of where direction was headed. And, as you guys can see, there were lots of direction changes, but, looking back at it, I should have just been more aware that, this thing, if it did want to uptrend, it's going to have these pullbacks on the way up, right? And vice versa. If this thing wants to sell off, there could be pullbacks before it continues to sell off. And so, I really struggled with direction. Looking at the bigger time frames probably would have helped me out too, right? I could have seen that it's generally found a support around these general, range areas. Where I struggled was, seeing where that this thing was so overextended, right? And it did end up pulling on back, but once this thing started rallying again, I wasn't sure exactly how much higher we were going to go, right? If we were ultimately going to end up breaking above the resistance, or, if we were going to experience some form of rejection and start to correct ourselves just as we did prior, right? In these past few days. So ultimately, I wasn't too sure where direction was going to be headed. I really struggled today. And because of that, I really was just over trading and just taking really dumb trades that I really had no business being in the market at the time, right? So when it was choppy and I get chopped out in a few trades, I need to take a step back and realize that, if my past 2 or 3 trades haven't gone according to plan, let's just wait until I feel comfortable with direction, right? It's not even like where direction is actually headed, because direction could be headed one way, but I still could not feel comfortable getting in it because I'm not truly, sure with where it's going to go. But when there's lots of green candles or selling pressure, right, that's where I really want to try to capitalize on and try to stay away from trading in between choppiness like this area, right, or this area, where it's trying to choose which way it wants to go and it's more consolidating rather than, actually uptrending or downtrending. So that's just something I need to practice over time. But yeah, as I mentioned, I am going to be trading paper money, so I look forward to practicing more, tomorrow and the rest of the week. But other than that, you guys can see my swing trades. they did ultimately save me today, right? Yesterday I was red, and my swings ended up making me back lots of money, or everything I lost and more. And today they were here to save the day again, right? So they were actually able to make back everything I was down. And my biggest winner was Spotify, actually. So Spotify was up a decent amount today, right? Almost 7%. And the reason why is they reported lots of downloads, right, in Southern Europe. So that's pretty good news. As you guys can see, this thing did start to spike. And, ultimately, where did I buy it? I bought it around the $79 price point. So it was down here. It's definitely one of my better winners in terms of the swing trades. And I'm excited that these things are breaking above the EMA again. So I just want to follow up with them and see them start to uptrend and use the EMA as a support like it did here, right? Where it pushes up, pulls on back, and uses it as a support rather than a resistance on the way down. So, but I am very excited, right? The market is, although it's been selling off, long term, it is having this nice little bullish run. Doesn't mean that we're just going to start an uptrend from here, right? If you look at things on a bigger perspective, right? Every single time we've approached these areas, it hasn't really done a good job of holding. So we just need to follow up with it and see what happens. But I am excited, especially after today's green day, right? The fact that it was holding, but that doesn't mean we can't just start to sell off, right? Anything is possible. We just need to see what happens tomorrow at market open. But thank you guys so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. If you guys are new to the channel, we really do appreciate you dropping a like on the video and subscribing. It really does help us out. And other than that, I hope you guys all enjoy your day. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's recap. Take care.